Our history, our pride. Year after year, as seasons change and memories are made, one thing will never change. Home is always right here. And when you walk through our doors, we never forget that, because this is our home too. So come on in, have a seat, and welcome home. The Triple R Roadhouse in the Clarion Mall, just off Interstate 80 at exit 62.
Welcome to another edition of the D9Sports.com Triple R Roadhouse 2016 Football Camp Tour here from AML Media Day with the Elk County Catholic Crusaders head coach Tony Gerg. In the red shirt is Doug Schatz, and in the gray shirt is Joe Kosinski, a couple of the offensive and defensive linemen for the Crusaders. Tony, starting out, you guys were 7-3 last year, had a pretty solid season. What do you guys have to do to continue to build upon that?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you look at our last two seasons, when you only lose 3 regular season games in the last 3 years, it starts with these guys. They're going to be third-year letter winners. So it's really their attitude. That's where we're going to start. That's where it's going to end. How we start the season, what kind of attitude we have, and what kind of attitude we have at the end of the season.
One of the staples offensively for you guys has been, since you've moved to the single wing, you guys have had a lot of success with that.
Yeah.
Talk about how that's evolved over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's complicated. It probably isn't as it looks, but it's been a process. I think the first year that we put it in and we had a scrimmage down in Cameron County, I kind of went into panic mode the night before, of course, because I'm 0-9 the year before, and we're going into a scrimmage, and I'm going to the goofy-looking offense, and my wife turned to me and says, "Are you sure this is going to work? Because I can't go through another 0-9 year." And boy, for a second there, I thought maybe we could throw the power I in real quick, but we did okay. I think once we got through that scrimmage, we got our feet under us and had some confidence. It was okay.
Joe, that's pretty much been the only offense you've known as a varsity football player. What are some of the different things that, as an offensive lineman, that you have to think about when you're running an offense like that?
Yeah, it's definitely unique. You're always pulling, different blocking schemes, different ways to pull. It's definitely I loved it ever since the beginning, so, it's just, I just have a lot of fun with that.
Doug, from your perspective, you guys get to see it from both ends. I know you probably have to practice a little bit against some of what's going on as well. You think from a defensive standpoint, when a team has to face an offense they don't see every week, that it gives you an advantage offensively?
I do. I mean, if you don't scout it good, then, we throw all sorts of different things at them. From lining up in different formations to having different splits and stuff like that. And I think it throws off most teams.
Tony, you guys have some skill players back. It starts with Nate Decanel, who had a pretty solid season.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call it a quarterback in your offense or how you would actually define it,
yeah.
But he was the passer of the group. How important is it to have a player like that back running the show?
Oh, it is. Just for a guy to be calling the plays and have that confidence level and be familiar with it, we think we have all the components in place. We have a couple areas here. We had a small senior class that graduated, and we have to plug a couple holes up. But for the most part, we have a lot of kids returning, and it does. It starts with the offensive line, and I think athletically we'll be just fine in the backfield.
Joe, on the defensive side, you were one of the top tacklers last year for this team. Let's talk about what you guys need to do defensively to be successful.
On the defensive side and offensive side, we need to work together as a team. That's all the football is. You got 11 players. If you're not clicking, there's a hole in the line, or there's a hole on the outside. You got to be working together. It's not going to work.
Doug, what are some of your goals for the team?
I'm thinking that we need to be more aggressive this year. Last year we were, but we felt injuries, so we had different kids in there, and they didn't completely understand. I think that they didn't, but I think we're going to be strong and aggressive this year.
Tony, with the reclassification going to 6 classes and you guys still being an A school, in a couple of the stalwarts like Clarion, Brockway, and Kane all moving up to Double A. Do you see Class A being much more wide open now in District 9 and giving some teams an opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, it changes the dynamics. You know, a lot of those teams, they hurt you numbers wise. You know, I mean, certainly when we're late in the season and we're down to mid-teens, it made things tough. You know, it's hard to compete against those teams and they're dressing 40 or 50 kids. You know, we really didn't lose those games. We just ran out of players to finish the games. So yeah, I mean, it's going to change some things. I think you're going to see a lot of surprises though in the playoffs, and again, it comes back to who has numbers at that point that can. It's a battle of attrition at that point. It really is.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us on another edition of the D9Sports.com Triple R Roadhouse Camp Tour 2016 here from AML Media Day in Sheffield. Good luck this season.